I am back with a block rocking beat, and Mr. Steve-O is back once again. Hello. We're having a few technical difficulties at the moment because the voice recognition is sounding to Steve-O like I have got a Dalek voice. And
sounds like that Gears of War microphone back.
Yeah, well, that's what we're working on. So I'm trying to find, oh, here we go, the live stream to see what it sounds like. Voice. And
like that Gears of War microphone back.
Yeah, it sounds like that.
Well, that's what we're working on. So I'm trying to
right, Steve-O, we're on, baby. It's fine. It's working fine. So, Steve-O is on 2 days, two podcasts in a row.
In a week.
It's a fucking record, this lad. He's back.
Scary, isn't it?
Good lad. Now, what we're going to talk about today is a couple of things. I've been asked on the YouTube channels to, you're going to like this, Steve-O, to play and review Crash Bandicoot on the PS4. Now, it's not a game I would normally play. I've had two separate people for some bizarre reason asking me to review it. So I'm going to review it. Not that I'm bothered. I think it's a good call. Try something different. So I've got the game. I'll be picking it up tomorrow.
Who's asked you to review it, if you don't mind me?
A couple of guys on the YouTube channel. A guy called Steve Burton, and then a guy called a guy from America called Randy, actually. A very American name. Right. So they both come on, which is good of them saying, can you review it? So I thought, well, I'll try something different. It's a game that I don't usually play. I don't play platformers anymore. So they sort of want my thoughts on it because I've got the original PS1 one in there. So we'll see. Have you played it?
I've got it, yeah. What, are you going to play it on the original PS? Not that, but the old one on the PS4 or the actual remake?
No, the PS4 one. My sister-in-law's got it. So I'm going to pick it up on the PS4. Because she was well into it, but I'm going to play a couple of levels on the PS1 tonight just to remind, sort of familiarise myself with the game and remember it.
A lot harder than I remember as a kid. I was never really into Crash, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, to be fair, you know me, I'm just the cliche gamer these days. When I was a kid, platformers were in, and golf games and footy games and all that stuff. But as I've got older, it's just purely, as we always say, 20 to 30 minute online experiences or a couple of hours where I'd have to think about it. So she said that and I texted before, she said she stopped playing it after level 2 because she wanted to smash the game up. So I just said
I've given up. I did the first, I got halfway through it and then it was just getting on my tits. I gave up in the end.
Is it that hard?
Don't get me wrong, it's good, you know what I mean? Going back to something like that, it is quite decent to play. But yeah, I can't remember it being that hard when I did play it as a kid.
Ah, right. Because I remember playing it, but it wasn't.
I had to YouTube a few levels. I was getting that pissed off with it.
Oh, was you?
Yeah.
That's poor. Yeah, well, she said it was hard, and a few other people have said that it was a lot harder learning curve than they remember. But I'll see anyway. I'm going to put, because it's on the PS4, I'll put the YouTube channel up, the live stream, because you can live stream through that, can't you? Either Twitch or YouTube. So I'll put it on the YouTube channel because that's where I've been asked the question.
Well, you have the red. What is it? The red curtains drawn in the back. Doing a review of Crash.
The unboxing in my Thai boxing shorts.
Crash has been out for like 7 months anyway. Doing a review.
Yeah. No, but it's good that someone's asked me for my opinion. You know what I mean? So yeah. Oh, Steve-O, let me show you something. This shirt I've got on. Oh my God.
Let me ever guess Ric Flair woo.
Yeah, but listen, it was white. Ric Flair was white. It's been washed once. eBay special. Are you ready for this?
Oh, it's not, is it?
Looks like Ric Flair after he's had all these problems recently.
Oh, that's poor, that.
It's fucking wrecked. It's all falling off the fucking... I expect more for £5 off eBay, the fucking tight asses. Anyway, so what we decided is, me and Steve-O, is we're always going on about PES 2018 and FIFA to a point. So what the thought was, we'd do a bit of a quick podcast talking about PES 2019. So all you haters, and FIFA 19 and Gears of War 65 as well. So no, we're going to talk about what games we're expecting for this year, and them two games are obviously going to be on our radar one way or the other. And also, Steve, one of the things that has come about is, I reckon the playtest stuff may come at some point, maybe on FIFA, but I don't know about PES, but it might come on PES. So I've had an email about that, and I'm always getting emails from EA to go down to Guildford to play FIFA, but you've got to sort of make your own way down at your expense and that. So it's quite a long way to go for that sort of experience. So I've had him ask me, so we'll see what happens. So what start with is PES 2019, forget 18, it's out the window, it's done, line is drawn. We won't mention it. What are you expecting out of 19 this year, realistically? Except for all, I know obviously the usual bullshit is probably going to come with the hype, but what do you want out of that game for you to play it?
The keeper's sorted.
Yep.
And defending. And license Reading. We got
shooting.
Fulham, why not Reading?
Yeah, Reading, yeah.
No, I
don't know.
Sounds harsh, but I'm not expecting much. Because I've always expected a lot in the previous PESs, and I've given up. But what I would like to see is, I don't know, I can't see much coming out of it again.
No. I think I don't. I know. Obviously, for anyone who's listening to the audio thing, and we stopped. Yeah, boring again, Chris. Have you not got a life? Yeah. No, but I thought we'd do it from a different spin this week. But I think, unfortunately, because each game that comes out every year is a completely different game to the game that came out the year before, I don't know what to expect. I don't know if we're going to get something. All I want is something that me and you can play one-on-one and enjoy. And you know what I mean? And even FIFA's not doing that this year.
No, I think FIFA has, put out a solid game, to be fair. I've played over 300 games with one of my mates. I would never do that like 5 years ago. It was always, you know what I mean? Well, see, FIFA have put out a solid game.
Oh, yeah, of course they have, yeah. They have put a good game out.
But what we say, PES, I'd like what to expect. Not a clue.
No, I know.
What about yourself? Do you think it'll be a recycled product again or not? Do you think they will do something different?
I don't think they're going to change much, and I don't think, because of the backlash they've had this year with the Masters League, especially, and the offline players. Because I'd love to be able to get my teeth into a Masters League. I'm an online gamer now. I'd love to be able to go on and play a Masters League and just randomly pick it up and have a team and build it like the old days of PS2. Because I did play it on the PS2 a hell of a lot. So the reason I went online was because of the scripting with the Masters League around about 2005 and 6. I played a lot of it, but I played online. Once online come on and I was playing human players, I just thought it was amazing. And that was where I went. So that's obviously why stuff like pro clubs I love. If PES had a mode like that where you could get 4 or 5 of you in a team and build up, but you actually built up all the players in your team. That's what I think pro clubs is missing. Is you should have say 18 players assigned to you, and even though you might have your own player, the other players or whoever's playing as any, that team evolves with you, and sort of stats go up because you just end up with random players all the time.
Able to make subs as well. I've noticed, if you've got a yellow card, you're fucked on clubs, aren't you?
That
happens to us. Yeah. Let's throw it out there. We are in Division 2 now, the boys.
Oh yeah.
Nash Mash FC doing bits.
Can we play you, Steve-O?
I don't think we should. It'd be a silly,
outcome. I don't think so. But no, can we play you in
I don't think we can.
Friendly.
I know you used to could a private match, but I'm not. I can't tell you. We'll have to get onto it.
I'll have a look. It could be good ones because I think they're going to be on later, or if we can get sort of night out, we'll have to do it. And I'll stream it then because then we can stream all of them. In fact, I should have done that last night because we were playing pro clubs and I should have streamed it. We got to the final and got fucking beat. Got beat 5-4 in the cup. We were winning 4-2, 80th minute.
It was fucking typical Nash Mash what we did. What was it? We had, don't ask me why it's Nash Mash FC.
Yeah.
What was it? We had, I think it was 14 points, 5 games. No, we had 10 points. And we needed to win 2 more games, 5 games remaining to get promoted. What did we do?
Go on.
End up fucking losing all 5 of them, staying in the same division.
Yeah, that's
just a ball ache going through it all again then, isn't it? Because now we've had a bad start, 2 losses. Yeah,
it's a killer that as well, isn't it? Because we've done that when we've done the I don't think we're very high up on the league, actually. I think we're only about Division 7. We've done a lot of the cups. We end up just playing the cups because we can do it in one night then. And, we've won it a few times, but I just think if PES had that sort of stuff, that'd be great. It'd be a great sort of mode or something similar that made you want to play it. I think that's where the moment is lacking. And I hope with 2019 we get a Masters League online where my club is like Masters League. I always say it, Masters League online. You've got a proper offline Masters League. You've got the actual online works. You've not got lag switching or cheating or things like that, and the actual offline game modes mean something. You know, where you actually want to play it. I don't think.
Then it's the backlash they face if they do copy clubs. They're just going to get, oh well, you've copied FIFA, like they did in a way with my team about the balls. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's just an ultimate team.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. They'll never. If they do like try to copy FIFA, there'll always be a backlash there.
Yeah, I agree with that. If they're chasing something, they should be their own.
Yeah, like why are you trying to be FIFA? Be a unique game like PES was.
Yeah. I think it's lost its identity in some respects when it comes to things like that, because you've got to chase where the money is, haven't you? And it's microtransaction.
Yeah. Well, so a lot of the games now, sports games are copy and paste jobs, like UFC 3. That just seems the same to me.
Yeah, I've got. You know what? Well, I know we were going to talk about that, but I've been so disappointed in that. You know, I'll be honest with you. I played the 10-hour trial and I was going to review it. And the character models look great, you know, like really, really.
A slight improvement. There's not much difference from UFC 2 because that had quite good graphics as well.
Yeah, of course it did. Yeah, it's a good game, and the stand-up punching is great. And the more I play UFC, the more I want to play a fight night game on next gen. Boxing. Oh, mate, honestly, that boxing. I love fight nights, and I wish they would become backwards compatible. I know I've got my 360 there, but if they become backwards compatible again on the Xbox One, I'll be all over it, because it just needs the boxing and the stand-up in the UFC game is great. It's so really good. It's really good.
When you go to the ground, it's just really stiff, isn't it? Like
yeah, it's
around there, it just looks unrealistic.
And when you go online, you just got somebody who's just studied it for hours. You get absolutely hammered.
Put you in something. But even the head kicks on that, you can take like 5 kicks to the face and you're still standing. It's just Like,
I never understood.
It is crying out for a fight night game.
It is,
but
to be fair.
UFC's where the money is now, though. That's the other thing.
Yeah, exactly.
EA are not going to change it.
No. The only way they could get some money is if they did, because obviously McGregor's fought, is if it sounds stupid, but you have him as a playable character, or you have him on some sort of front. I know that's sacrilege to boxing, because he's only had one fight and got beat.
Well, it's not that. Fight Night never put all the fighters in. Like Mayweather's never been on the game. I'm just saying Khan as well.
Yeah.
They only have a selective few, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Tyson was in the 360. I think it was three. I think 4 as well. And then you had that Fight Night Champions with David Hay on the front. It was like a campaign. That was good. That was a good game, that. But I think it's just dying out for it. It's a totally different game. But I'd love to see a Fight Night game come out this year. It's not going to, but it will. So what about, what do you want in FIFA then?
What do I want in FIFA? It's a tough one. I don't think it can improve, though.
Yeah.
It sounds daft, but maybe license the lower league teams now. Get like the stadiums in for that. Why not?
Yeah, the game's big enough, isn't it, to do it?
Yeah,
the players,
grounds like Sheffield and all that in it. Why not? No one else is putting the money. Like PES ain't going to go for it, so just go all out now. And
it's more likely that EA would get the license to have them stadiums anyway.
Yeah,
now because of the money, and there'd be good atmosphere for some of the cup games. It'd be good, really, if they had like an FA Cup mode.
They are quite good games when you play the Championship on FIFA, aren't they? They're enjoyable.
Yeah, it's more of a level playing field. We do that. We'll drop down a couple of divisions. It's more of a 3-star teams or 2.5 stars. I enjoy it more when I play some of the games, because if you play against Ronaldo and stuff like that, it's good for long range shots when you've got the good players, because you can ping some top shots in and stuff. Not always score, but you can ping them in. But I do agree with that. The variation is there. For me, it's going back to pro clubs, because Ultimate Team I just can't be doing with anymore.
Yeah, even though I don't touch Ultimate Team.
No, I can't. Online Seasons is all right, and I'll play that.
Yeah, it seems broken to me, Ultimate Team. Like when I've played it in the past, the keepers are just horrendous, aren't they? They let a lot of howlers in. And
that's what I was going to get onto, is pro clubs is the keepers are so bipolar. It's unbelievable. I even think in pro clubs, if the game mode wasn't so fun when you're with your friends, I'd be slating that game probably worse than PES, because we had a game last night. The keeper might as well have not even been in the net. And I've said that about PES. And to be fair, FIFA needs to be called out on it, because I've said it before. I hope that you can evolve your team this year And I hope that your players' stats mean something that aren't your own creative player. Like you said, you can substitute or you can do something to evolve the mode, because it's a great mode and it gets loads of people playing it, but it needs to evolve, I think. And at the moment, it's the same pro clubs that I played probably 4 or 5 years ago, by a couple of options, which is an EA classic, but that's when it needs to be. And it needs to be like you defend. I keep saying it, but your defenders have to be 6'2", not 5'6". It don't make any sense.
I mean, you've got to improve as you get better.
Yeah, exactly. And
we're 4 stars now on it, and we've still got the players that pay 60, half of them.
Yeah,
and you just on the wing, you just get fucking levered against a small guy on it.
Yeah,
they should improve, like you said. As you get better, they should come along and improve with you.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the servers need improving, because there's loads of issues with the servers.
It'll just kick you out randomly, won't it? And like bad lag on some.
Yeah, well, we do it. I mean, me and Jordan are okay. We touch wood. We're fine in the same house. But my brother, Javier, and my sister, if they're playing, all of a sudden one of them will just go after a couple of games. I've been kicked, and they get kicked out for no reason whatsoever. And that's a regular thing with pro clubs, and it's been a server issue since it came out. They've never been able to get that right, EA. I know they're notorious for the servers being a bit temperamental at the best of times, but it lets down the game mode, I think, with stuff like that. So what other games are you looking forward to, Steve-O?
Well, I finished Evil Within the other day. I don't know if I mentioned that. Finally got that out of the way.
Is it any good?
I think I did. Yeah, decent, really good. Not as good as the first one, but it was a solid performance. It's got that old Resident Evil vibe about it. That's been missing a few years. Get me wrong, Resident Evil 7, great game, but the ones before that, it's lost that horror thrill. I don't know into the Resident Evil series. But
Resident Evil 4 was the only one I played. I loved it on
that was really good.
GameCube.
Unreal, you know what I mean? I had that, like, it was a scary game. I'm into all that stuff, but 5, 6 were just waste of time. But the Evil Within, like I said, it takes it back to that old Resident Evil series. What's good?
Is it a full game? Sorry, go on.
What were you going to say?
No, sorry, is it a full release game, or is it like a PSN game? Is it off the network, or is it actually a disc?
Evil Within, no, it's a proper game.
All right, I've not seen anything of it.
I've had 2 thingies now. I think that, what is it, Betty Stack Ivan, the one that make Fallout.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they have a say in it.
Ah, right, okay.
And then I've just started that Wolfenstein 2. Really good. Not played the first one, but you know what? I don't think I need to.
No.
It tells you where you left off from the first one.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, I'm really impressed with that. I think it's a game I don't think you would mind getting your hands on, to be fair.
I'll have to play, because to be fair, Steve-O, I know the other Wolfenstein games, the one before this got like a 7 out of 10. 8s. They said it was above average, quite a good game, which 8's a good score. But the ones before it have been fucking terrible. But this one is like 9s, 10s. This is the brilliant.
First one I've played. Usually, I'm always put off by the robotic shit and all that. Because it looks like Transformers, a lot of the Wolfenstein games, don't they?
Yeah.
But it's not as bad as I thought. It's really impressed me a lot.
Oh, that's fucking good. They're good. I will pick it up at some point, definitely. Anything else you're looking? Well, we don't know yet with E3. Do we coming up? What's going to come out?
I've just bought one game actually. Come yesterday. Shadow of Colossus.
Oh, it's supposed to be Ace in it.
Oh, I remember playing it back in the PS2 days, but I was too young to appreciate it. It was one of them I was just hanging about, climbing up a beast, but not knowing what to do.
Yeah.
But what I remembered, it was unbelievable.
Why is this a remaster, this?
Yeah, just a remaster, but it's not one of them cheap remasters like they did for Uncharted on the PS4. Like just upscaled it a bit. Apparently.
Oh, yeah.
Refurbished everything again.
Oh, that's good. What else was that?
21 quid.
Oh, you can't argue with that then, can you?
Can't argue with that. Shop2.net. Just a little promotion there for them.
Hey, now we're on with Shop2.net, because we got PUBG from there, didn't we?
Yeah, but no, get me hands on that. I've got a few other games I need to play. I've been actually getting into the single player games again. Like I said, I've not touched Battlegrounds for a while. Not touched that for I think 2 weeks now. Just been smashing the single player games.
Oh, you need a break sometimes. I mean, you know what I'm like? I get obsessed with these sort of things, so I've just like constantly on it. I'm streaming it now and everything. I absolutely love that game. But I played Gears the other day. I'll have to get back on Gears because I haven't played Gears for ages, and I was straight on Steve-O with the old shotgun, taking names, baby. No, we'll have to go on because we played loads of that last year.
Yeah, we were proper into it, didn't we?
Yeah, I love it, and it looks amazing on the Xbox One X now. The actual 4K and that looks fucking brilliant. Absolutely top game. So we'll have to get onto that. I've got like we were talking to Mark, one of the lads, insert many, because he's got the season pass for Battlefield 1. Like I got it, didn't I, for £7, and I need to start playing that again. But
that's another game we've not touched for a while.
We were on that. Was it PS4 we were on that, or was we play on Xbox as well?
Xbox.
Yeah, well, we'll get onto that. Because I think Finger this year is going to be one of the games I'm looking forward to. It's not been announced. It's Battlefield 5. They reckon's getting done this year.
It's every 2 years with Battlefield, isn't it?
Yeah, because Battlefield's a good game, but it's this Battlefield 5, because 4 is just one of my favourite multiplayer games ever, up there with the Gears series.
Back to the modern days.
Yeah, that's what they need to do. So I think that, I mean, obviously mine's all based on online, really. What else? I mean, there might be I don't think it's going to be a Gears thing. I think it's going to be a Halo announcement this year, because Halo 5 was out
Halo 5 coming from the guy. Yeah, buy it back, Steve. I'll never even play it.
Yeah, you told me to buy it. You yeah, get it, Chris. I got it for £5 anyway, so it wasn't too bad. But you're like, get it back. We'll play it. I've actually deleted off the X because of the memory the other day. I was like, no, I've got to delete it because I won't fucking play it. It's garbage. I'll tell you one game I do want on the PS4, and I need to start playing with PS4 again, is Street Fighter Arcade Edition. Or just Street Fighter 5. I was
talking about this with some guy the other day. He was telling me, he went to Tokyo and all that, and he was smashing the Street Fighter over there. Just one game that's never appealed to me.
I love Street Fighter.
Oh, it stresses me out, because no matter how good you can be at it, there's always someone better than you that knows every like punch on it.
It's the combos I can't get. Like, I know the old cliche stuff from like the Mega Drive days and SNES and all that, the Hadoukens and all that stuff and spinning kicks and all that, and I could do all of them. But when it comes to the newer stuff, where it's like catching someone in the air and it's a 30 fucking hit combo, I ain't got a clue what I'm doing.
I can't. Not for me.
I don't mind him as an out and out, pick him up for 20 minutes and have a few games. But I used to play Street Fighter 4 on the 360 online, and I get a few games where I'd win, and then I get absolutely panned. If someone from like America or Japan or someone come on, I mean, obviously you've got the lag side of it and the ping and that, but they just came me, and I'd be like, "This is top game." I could play it as a single player sort of thing, but I'm waiting for it to go down to about a tenner, or on the PSN for a tenner, because if you've got the original 5, it'll the arcade one is downloadable as a free download, so you get the whole game. But they reckon this is the game that 5 should have been. I was saying this in my podcast, so that's what I want. That I don't know what else to think this year, because
Red Dead finally got a date, October. 25th.
Yeah, October the 25th, and it's 26th.
Or 7th, one of them.
Well,
same day as GTA 4 come out, apparently.
Yeah, it's the same day as GTA 4, and it's the same date as San Andreas, I think they said. It's the same date on both of them. I think it's San Andreas or Vice City. But also, I was talking yesterday, and someone had said that they'd heard whispers that Call of Duty and Red Dead are getting a Battle Royale mode.
I've seen that on the Red Dead, but I'm not Call of Duty.
I don't know how Call of Duty's going to do it. I don't know how Call of Duty going to do it. I mean, Battlefield is pretty much like, it's not a battle royale, but it's the maps are the right size. You could do it on Battlefield and work your way in, so you'd have to have no vehicles and drop in and then shrink them out. So you could actually do that on Battlefield, but it's different. Battlefield, how you do it, because it's got auto aim and that. PUBG's thing is you've got to actually learn how to shoot properly on it.
Yeah, it seems to have taken off, this battle royale now. It's probably the new thing in all the games, to be fair. I can see working with Red Dead, though, because I said this. Like, that's what I reckon GTA 5 should have been like online,
I agree. There should be a mode. If GTA 5 had it, the size of that map, even now,
boring, didn't it?
Yeah, it had everything. The map was great. A single player was great on GTA 5. I love that. I completed it on the 360 and the Xbox One. I'm PS4. I completed all 3 of them, and the actual campaign. But when it comes to playing it online, I'll go on every now and again, and I just do the same thing. I go to the airbase, vault the fence, get a fucking jet, and then just fucking steam it around the map, trying to blow things up unless I get killed. Getting out of there.
GTA, it means nothing.
Exactly. And it never worked, the online, because then someone can just make sure that you don't actually kill them. They go as like passive, don't they? So you can't shoot them and stuff.
Yeah.
You just to let you down. But yeah, so I don't know. There's probably a load of clones for PUBG this year, definitely. I'm not sure. I think he's dying out for another footy game, definitely. But where one's going to come from, it won't compete with them two, will it?
Battle Royale football game.
Well, yeah, you could do if you want.
No, they'll just get PES. 2K will never get involved with that kind of stuff.
No, not at all. Not at all. Hey, what about totally off the...
Sorry, what about Sensi Soccer? That's the fucking game.
Sociable soccer it is, if you don't mind.
I am Has that actually been fully released now or not? I've not heard you speak about that.
To be fair, I've not played it since I've been playing PUBG. I've not played it since before Christmas.
Sensi Soccer, not even playing it.
I've got sociable soccer it is. I've got it on my laptop actually. They're actually implementing a load of updates. I was speaking to the other day, and there will be like a Masters League type mode going in it, which is going to be good. So it's got it on the laptop. It works on this. I mean, MacBook, and I'll play it, but just not touched it because of PUBG. That's just taken over everything, and it's even PUBG is now ruining games that I love, like Battlefield and that, because I can't pick it up at the moment. It's pretty sad, really. I know, but I'm always creaming myself over that game. So is that it for gaming, Steve-O?
Yeah, that's it for gaming. Yeah.
I was thinking about I was wanting to talk about the UFC last week, but I didn't get a chance. And then I was going to do one the other day, and I did that little Busby Babes tribute thing. But I was going to talk about the UFC. But in fact, I'll ask you, what do you think? I said to you, I went to that Busby Babes thing the other day about the fucking players sat there with fucking blankets on them and shit when they were doing it. Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, mate, unbelievable. You had Valencia and stuff. He was like, he's the captain of the team. Now, he's not the club captain, obviously, it's Carrick. And you've got Harry Gregg there, who survived. He's the goalkeeper, obviously, survived the crash. He rescued people out of the plane crash, and Bobby Charlton was there and somebody helped Bobby Charlton and that. He was sat in a chair on the runway and stuff, and he did all that. And he's there, and he didn't have a blanket on, I don't think. He's got a cap on. No, Bobby didn't, and neither did Harry Gregg. And then it pans to the players, and you've got fucking Darmian, who's crap anyway. Darmian, Valencia, and someone else all huddled together. Then someone else. Then it looked like Pogba was on his phone. Marshall looked like he was going to start laughing, and then realised he was on like the big screens, and then sort of tried to. He was like that going. And all of a sudden he looked and he went like as if to say, "Oh, I wasn't smiling."
Laughing for a face, that makes a difference.
Yeah, no, well, yeah. The only time he does laugh is at a fucking memorial. He never smiles on the fucking pitch. But then, I mean, he's a top player, but it's one of them where they were just totally disrespectful, and I was just like, and it was snowing, which was quite poignant anyway, because obviously they died on a runway, snow-filled runway in the ice, and it's like, you absolute fucking. I was going to fucking go mad then. You absolute fucking fairies. You know what I mean? It's like fucking just totally disrespectful. I thought, and it wasn't really made a big thing of, and it's not. It was a great service, but I just thought you absolutely got your total understanding. Even if it was 20 minutes, they had to wear a suit, and it was just like, you fucking mad arses.
Yeah, no, I agree. I didn't see any of that with them in the blankets and all that.
Yeah, it's just sad. It was just fucking, just
but
sort of
surprised, especially Pogba being on his phone, if you did say that.
Yeah, well, it looked like it, but and then to be fair, there was a bit of a PR bullshit because someone's saying Pogba was dabbing at the memorial, and he wasn't. He was a young lad who was disabled in a wheelchair, and him and Juan Mata went past him, and they were filming, and they come back and hugging him and talking to him, and then they did a dab for him and stuff, and it wasn't like, but they spun it like Pogba seen dabbing at the Munich Memorial for fans, and it was like, no, he was doing this. This kid was in a wheelchair and asked him. So it was bullshit. That was bullshit. If you see that, there was a bit of a hoo-ha on it, and then it's like, no, look at the actual what he actually was doing it for, sort of stuff. So I give it. No, Herrera, your mate wasn't there. No, he had a nice suit on. He looked like he'd been on holiday. Actually, he had a suntan. Herrera, Fergie was there, so it was good. It was good for what it was. It just.
How did you manage to get into that? Did you have to buy a ticket, or is it just season ticket members?
No, he just walked up. He didn't have to be anything. He just walked up. I got you get a free. I mean, I'm not bothered about the free brew, but you got a free tea and coffee. So you walked in and
you went there, so you didn't have to use your own milk.
It's free. You've got to get in there. Cheeky fucker. But no, genuinely, I enjoyed it for what it was. It was a good memorial, sad but good. Like I'm glad I went, sort of thing. Just that blighted it.
When you come out anyway, I believe someone noticed the Contextual podcast taking Will wide.
Well, I did say this on the last podcast when I did a little thingy, but as I came out, I walked up to Sam's Work, which is just over the bridge right next to Old Trafford, and some guy was there, and I thought he was Spanish because I could see like a sportis, I think it's Intervito or something they're called, and I just smiled at him. Like, all right, mate. And he went, would you do an interview? So obviously, being me, he's got his Paddington Bear scarf on and his fucking PUBG coat on. Just did a bit of a tribute. They were asking about stuff, what it meant, Munich and Busby Babes, and I was saying about how that's the foundation of the club and all this. And then he said it's on their social media, which I haven't seen yet, but he said it was going to go on at the night, and I've still not seen it. So he said he was going to then tag us as the podcast, and they'll promote it through their website where there's like 2 million people, but I haven't seen anything yet. So we'll just wait and see. I've got the guy's name and everything. He lives in Manchester, but he's Brazilian. So I wasn't doing it for that. I was doing it for the thing. But when he said about, do you have any media stuff, social media stuff? And I just said, yeah, I do a podcast. And he was like, oh, great. And then he wanted to see the Busby Babes thing they might use on their channel. So it might be nothing. He might not hear anything, but I did the interview, if you know what I mean.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Watching Brazil, they'd be like Mark Viduka having a medical at Old Trafford.
You fucking bricky layer. Fucking legend. Hey, look, fucking, they'll know it's not him because of their nose.
Sorry, there's something I wanted to ask you. I've never got
around
to it. What the fuck was that video today?
Which one?
You in the back garden walking in with that hat that's barely fitting your head. What the fuck is all that about?
No, it was a PUBG piss take because I was playing on it live the other day and I said to him, I've got a PUBG coat. Sam bought me his coat for Christmas, like an overcoat, but it's like a button. So Javier and that are taking a piss saying it's a woman's coat. I said, it's fucking not, is it? I said, you don't get a woman's coat fucking wearing the size of me, are you? So it's a proper PUBG coat. So what I did was I said to Jordan, film me. So I put my hat on like a PUBG. It's actually a beanie hat, but I folded it over. That's why it only just fits on my head. So, but then I did the old PUBG thing where you open the door and you walk into it like that lady on PUBG, where you just keep walking into the. She'll do that too much because of the nose. But you walk into the wall. So that's what the reference is. Right. You know, you're not impressed with that, are you?
I wasn't. I was like, Paul.
Thanks, mate. Thanks. But anyway, let's move on. Oh, I'll tell you one thing, actually, I will say, and I never ever say this, and I got told off for this by a good friend of mine, is if you're following the podcast, me and Steve-O, can you put a review on iTunes or SoundCloud or anything on YouTube for us, any sort of subbing to the podcast and everything? Just get on there and give us a rating, a 5 out of 5 or a 1 out of 5, whichever, is your thing. Because any reviews that we get, it makes us more noticeable to people out there, especially on the audio side of it, on Stitcher, iTunes, SoundCloud, all the usual stuff. And then obviously anything on YouTube would be great, subscription-wise, because we're getting quite a good following now. Yeah. I just wanted to sort of get it out there, get more people involved in the podcast. Plus, we were supposed to have a guest on tonight. A couple of people. Alan was supposed to come on. The guy who
you had a full podcast planned after this, didn't you?
I might be doing one later on. I might be doing a podcast tonight. I'm thinking of trying a podcast, but as we play and stream, because I can take the audio out of it. So we might stream PUBG later, and then what I'll do is I can take, once we're playing, we can all chat, and then I can actually take the audio out and see what it sounds like if it's good enough for a podcast. So we'll talk about PUBG because I'm getting into doing the streaming now and see where it goes and see if I can actually use it as a podcast. I don't know whether I can, but I'll see. Just try something different. Like, so I was going to have a few people on, but I can't get anyone on tonight. So that's not my way to. But yeah, what's about the UFC? I know, yeah. At least he gets to play in the game. UFC I wanted to talk about is Mayweather saying he wants to fight him, and apparently he's serious as well.
It's awful, isn't it?
Yeah, he's going to get caned, isn't he?
Fucking great fighter, but he shouldn't do it. He's, retired now for a reason. He got his 50 year. Why? Just put himself through that. Exactly.
It's a totally different sport. It's like a rugby player playing football or a football player playing rugby. The similarities of the sport end really there because he's a one-dimensional. An MMA fighter, a true MMA fighter, has got 5 or 6 different things that they excel at and are world-class at. He's a world-class boxer. He's not even a world-class in karate or wrestling or anything. It's really, really...
Whole new sport, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a stupid thing to do, but also it's money, innit? The guy's just chasing the money all the time.
He doesn't need the money. That's the thing.
No. I think it'll ruin his legacy because he's got that sort of elusiveness that nobody's been able to ever beat him, have they? So it's like, you know, whether some of them decisions are dodgy or not with Mayweather, he's never been beaten over 12 rounds. Most of them go 12 rounds. So I don't know what he gains out of this because he's going to get a fucking spanking, isn't he?
Yeah.
I just don't understand where that's going.
Money, but why? Like, it will ruin his legacy.
Well, he was saying like Brock Lesnar might come back because after WrestleMania, he's open, but he's got a ban. So whether he serves a retrospective ban for his drug thing, I don't know. But the UFC, I find now, it's just gone on its arse a bit because since they sold it, Dana White and that, the fights are just not there. Other than Conor McGregor, they haven't got any superstars. So there's not a lot of... I watch all the events, but there's not someone there now where you go... If you're not a pure fan like I am, and obviously I listen to all the podcasts every week and that, even yourself, you keep up to date with the
UFC, boxing a bit more, to be honest with you.
But you do keep up to date, don't you, with the UFC?
Yeah.
You know who the fighters are and that, and you're not just a fair weather fan who just turns up for McGregor's fights or Brock Lesnar's fights, whatever. But even I find now that a lot of the fighters, and I know them all inside out. I listen to all the podcasts, go on all the websites, everything. I'm a really big fan. And I struggle sometimes watching them. Sometimes I'm like fast forwarding the events now. So I'm like, this is fucking rubbish. You know from the start if a fight's going to be a 3-round slugfest or it's going to be a 3-round fucking ball fest. Now, the technical stuff's really interesting. Someone who's doing it now. And, I'm doing it at a low level and a basic level. But to understand what they're doing now is a better thing for me as a fan. But for other people watching, it's like it's just 2 guys rolling around the floor. They don't understand, or 2 women rolling around the floor. They don't understand the logic behind it. But I'm struggling with it myself. The Tough has started filming, you know, The Ultimate Fighter, the reality show.
Right, okay.
And they've announced that the next fight is going to be Stipe Miocic, the heavyweight champ, against Daniel Cormier, the light heavyweight champ. Because Cormier was a heavyweight originally, and he struggles to make weight. So they're going to fight in July, I think it is. So they're filming that at the moment. So that'll be a good fight. That will be a good fight.
Yeah,
really good
like
fight.
I don't know. I don't really follow it as much as the UFC anymore. Like I said, boxing, the British boxing at the moment is on highest peak for me it's ever been.
Just
so
top
many
boxing.
fights. Yeah, like you've got Thingy coming up this month now. Or is it next month? George Groves and Eubank Jr.
No, that's next week, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Feb.
I think it's next week. That's to do with that. What's that tournament? They're in that tournament, aren't they? Super middleweight.
Like it's been on ITV4 on it, half of them. This is on the ITV boxing, but I'm really looking forward to that. Then you got David versus Tony as well in May.
I think Hayes going to lick him this time properly and take him out.
No, he's gone. He's finished for me, Hay.
If he pulls an injury now, he's just got to retire. But I think if he's fit, he'll cane Bellew. He really will cane him. I don't think that ankle just messed with him. It was a really good fight. It was a bit like the last Rocky film, because when Rocky fought against the Rocky Balboa, not Creed, when he fought against that Adonis, what's he called? Mason the Line Dixon won it. You know, Antonio Tarver. And he fought him, and then he's getting levered because obviously he's 30 years older than him or whatever. And then he breaks his arm, doesn't he? His hand.
He plays on it though too much, doesn't he? Hay?
Hay does.
Always after the fight, there's an injury. Like
that toe thing.
He did his hand in. Then do you remember he broke his?
Yeah.
And he had blisters on his foot. Like, just get over it. There's other fighters out there. Like Tony did his hand in, didn't he? He broke it in the first round, but he carried on.
Exactly.
Hay. Just needs to stop playing the old fucking.
I like the fact you're calling him Tony, like you're fucking best buddies with him.
I used to hate him, but I don't know, he's grown on me now. I hope he fucking levers him. And for being a Scouser as well, I really do. Yeah,
but he's not a real Scouser, is he? He's an Everton fan, so we can let him off. I think the thing is as well, I was at Old Trafford last season when he was there, and he was stood there with all the Everton fans, no messing about. He was there, and he was there at half time. He's a fucking big bloke, you know, Steve-O. I know he's not like when he was stood next to Deontay Wilder, he looked tiny, you know, Bellew compared to. But when you see him in person, he's fucking massive guy. Yeah. And I know he's not ripped up. I think And he was there signing autographs for all the players, all the fans and stuff. He was really good. He seemed like he comes across as a nice bloke.
Guy, don't he? That's what I see from him.
And I'm the same as you. I've slated him because that rose-tinted glasses of him being a Scouser, because obviously like they do with us, you know, calling us Manx. But like as he listened to him, he's just a big family man, isn't he, and everything. And he's respectful of his fighters and stuff. He's just like,
I give him credit as well. What he says that he'll do, he ends up doing as well.
I love the fact though when
I know Tony myself personally. He's a nice lad.
Yeah, sure you do.
I'm getting him on the podcast next week.
Tony. He'd be sat next to me like this. All right, Tony, how you doing, mate? Yeah. No, he is, but he comes across as a nice bloke. But I still love the fact that when they interviewed David A and the last fight they were going about, and he goes, he calls him Bellend, doesn't he? And that guy from Sky said to him, like, don't be, no swearing and everything. Then he just went, Tony Bellend. And the guy's going, hey, I've warned you once. I've warned you. He starts having a go at David A. I think he's going to struggle, you know. I think Joshua's going to struggle against that Parker.
No, that's another one. I can see that being a shite fight. I don't rate Joseph Parker at all.
No, but I think he might struggle because it's going to be a bore fest of a fight. Yeah. It's not going to be a barnstorm, and I don't think he's going to knock him out. I don't think Joshua's got the tank. It's a bit like Conor McGregor in the UFC. After the few rounds, he's fought.
3 rounds, he goes all out, doesn't he? And then his stamina kicks in.
Yeah, he's absolutely fought. So we'll move on from that, Steve-O. See how he's pretty structured today. You know what I mean? No messing about it, yeah. Not be much swearing or slacking each other off. It's funny.
Fucking dickhead. Watch my tongue this week. Watch my mouth.
I know what the hell's going on. What Steve-O's going for his sponsorship deal with fucking
before 7 o'clock, so we don't really, this is.
Oh yeah, fair enough. It's the watershed version. This, not the like I listen to the Stone Cold
tonight at 7 o'clock. The Contextual podcast.
This is because the Stone Cold does his podcast. He doesn't know, and then he does an Unleashed one where all the swearing gets put back in. He's going fuck, and all that.
A lot of that recently, Bought the 2 Blu-rays of the Attitude Era.
I've got amazing
stuff on that. How they got away with some stuff. I was crying out in laughter. There was one with Mark Henry. What,
the hand?
No, yeah, there was that one. But then
she has the baby. Is it May Young has the fucking baby?
May Young. There was a wrestling match, and it was like D'Lo Brown, Godfather, and Scotty Tuati.
On Nation of Domination.
Yeah. And Grandmaster Thingy, and he comes out with May Young. It's just it's stuff that makes you laugh back then, but they can't do now.
No. What about the ones? I love the ones with Vince McMahon though. Like when they're all there, the Kiss My Arse Club, and then the next minute Trish Stratus is in the ring with The Rock, and he thinks he's going to kiss her arse, don't he, Vince McMahon? And the next minute, fucking Rikishi comes in there and he puts him in and all that. It's just like the stuff with Austin and that though. I love the stuff with him. When he went to the when he did the Invasion WCW, and obviously it was pretty shit because most of the WCW big guys like Goldberg, Kevin Nash, they were on them long open contracts with Time Warner, so they couldn't wrestle. And that's why Booker T got released, but they couldn't pay. Vince McMahon wouldn't pay off like Goldberg, Sting's, Ric Flair's contracts for the Invasion angle because they had to sort of sit it out. And the thing was a shit, but I loved all the stuff with Austin and Angle when he was playing the guitar and stuff. And Austin's there fucking singing, and he was like a heel, but he was like, it was class. I always loved that bit with Austin when he goes in for the Invasion and he's in the bar and he's like, and Vince McMahon's going, we need the old Stone Cold back. And he's like, just ignoring him. And then he kicks the shit out of them all, doesn't he? He comes to the ring and starts stunning everyone.
Yeah.
I fucking love all that.
Jim Ross going off his tits. I watched one actually, China versus Jim Ross the other day. Fucking hell, he got leathered. I think it was Stone Cold and Jim Ross versus Triple H in China, but it's on this DVD. And it was just Dempsey went out at Austin and fucking Triple H, but it was just China leathering him for half an hour.
That's stiff, innit?
Just ripping him all the way through it.
What was he saying?
Just some of this, I bet he gets up by his missus and all that. Like, you're watching this, but she's dead now.
Yeah, she died, his wife, hasn't she? Jan, his missus, Jim Ross, she died in a car accident, didn't she?
Jim Ross was just a fucking legend.
He's class. I love it. He's stunner. He's fucking ace in it. He's so slow. And then like when he gets him on the shoulder, he goes like that, doesn't he?
Turns into like an RKO, doesn't it?
Like a diamond cutter, innit? It's fucking DDP's move. The thing is, I've got the WWE Network back because we were trying to get you onto it. When I got an email off him for $1.99.
Well, yeah, I got
3
back
months.
onto it, but I don't know. It's not enjoyable, the WWE Network. I can watch the pay-per-views, but not the live shows. You know what I mean?
I watch the new stuff. The new stuff's fucking shit. I like the documentaries. I like the WCW Monday Night Wars. That's WWF, WCW. I've watched about 7 or 8 of them when the WWE Network come on in about 2015. I was all over it. I was paying it like the $10 a month. Then I stopped. And literally for WrestleMania, they just throw it at you, the subscription, where they'll say, do you want 3 free months? And I've done that last year, but this year was $1.99, so I thought, I can't fucking say no. I got Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, and I've got a back catalogue of the documentaries. I love watching. I was watching a Bobby the Brain Heenan one the other day, you know, like where he started and that, because I loved Bobby the Brain Heenan. He's fucking ace. It's just so stupid as a manager with Gorilla Monsoon and that, really good, but because he died, didn't he, last year? So it's like different ones at Macho. I've got a DVD there, a 4-disc DVD. Never opened a Macho Man one that I bought from Amazon for $5. It's really good. I've seen it on the WWE Network though, so I've seen it. The one you should watch, Steve, was really good. He's the Paul Heyman one. I'm a Paul Heyman guy. That's really good on the WWE Network. Really, because when he was in WCW and then he went to ECW and created all that and stuff. And like as a person, really good documentary. He's a really clever guy.
Paul Heyman, fucking just grinds on me after a bit.
No, but if you watch the documentary, you'll see what he did to sort of make his name, where he was like a reporter and just hung around in the back for ages and eventually started getting spots and then grew and grew and grew. He's really, really good. Clever guy. Really clever guy. And he's a big wrestling fan. And he was Hulk Hogan stuff on there. I don't know if the Hulk stuff's on there anymore. It's like they've erased Hogan from everything.
Yeah, I think they got rid of him altogether, the company, didn't they?
Well, I was watching something with the Royal Rumble last week, saying like what the best Royal Rumbles. So I'm going to go back and watch the old Royal Rumbles.
Which one's yours? Mine, without a doubt. I know it already.
Go on.
1999.
Which one was that?
The one where The Rock won it against Big Show.
I don't think.
I
don't remember that.
It's when Triple H versus Cactus Jack in the Street Rules match.
Oh, I remember the Street Rules match. Yeah.
Royal Rumble was unbelievable.
I'll have to watch it again. Was Austin in it? Because he was injured around 99.
Austin wasn't in that pay-per-view that year.
That's when he got run over by Rikishi. He won it just before it in 98.
Yeah, that's for me. That whole pay-per-view shit out, because I think it was the Dudley Boys versus the Hardy Boys in a table match or something.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
I'll have to watch it.
It is a good one, that.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I like when I first got into the wrestling properly, it was about 89, 90 when I first got Sky, probably 1990. And then the back catalogue, I remember a friend of mine had WrestleMania 6 and 7 on video that someone from America had recorded for him, a family member, and sent it over. And then he had Royal Rumble 1990, 91. And then it was like WrestleMania 7 on. And I used to get like the videos off him after he'd watched them. And that's when I got into like the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, that's what I used to do back in the day. It was a thing, wasn't it? Like if you didn't have Sky, lend them off someone who recorded it and then pass it around school. Everyone
used to watch it. And I remember we used to watch RTL, the German channel. And they had the wrestling on WrestleMania 8 was on there live with Bobby the Brain Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon. But then over it was the German commentary. And I remember Hogan was against Sid Justice and Papa Shango come in. And I said to our Adam, when we watched it live, we recorded it on video. But I remember I was watching that live about 3 a.m. And I remember saying, just need the Ultimate Warrior to come in now because he's my favourite wrestler then. And then his music come on. And it was about a fucking 300-yard sprint to the ring. Hulk Hogan was getting absolutely levered in the ring. And then got all the other stuff after that was just, I used to just watch it religiously. Super. I used to have all the top trumps from when it came out about 1990. They had the top trumps and I had all them. Warrior and Hogan were the best two.
Yeah, I was too young for all that. I didn't follow it then.
No, you were. Were you even born?
Yeah, mine was the 98. I'd say started around then. 98, I reckon.
When were you born? 94?
93.
End of
October 93, yes.
Yes, you're only 6, weren't you?
Yeah. But yeah, cousin got me into it, but it's like Triple H was in his prime and all that. And
I love all that.
First got aired, all that. Unbelievable.
Fucking ace. Unbelievable. In fact, I'm going to make that a weekly thing. I'm going to start with the big first Royal Rumble where I think Hacksaw Jim Duggan won the first Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I think
it wasn't as big as what it is now. It was like a throwaway thing. A bit like they used to have them weird battle royals where everyone started in the ring together, didn't they? 20 of them. like that Andre the Giant one. And then, yeah, I'll have to what's your name? I'll have to get on it and watch it because I know 91 was one of my favourites because that's when Warrior got hit off Macho Man, and they had the WrestleMania 7. They had the retirement match because Macho Man retired. You there? You there? Sorry, it went off then.
Hello. Yeah, mine went off. Go on.
No, yeah, Macho Man hit Warrior. Warrior was the champ, and he fought Sergeant Slaughter, and he beat Warrior. Got hit over the head with like he's the Macho King, he was called, with Sensational Sherry, his septum thing, and she cracked him with it, and then he rolled him up and won the title. So then it's set up for Hulk Hogan to beat Sergeant Slaughter at WrestleMania 7, which he did, and then Warrior fought against Macho Man for a retirement match. I always remember it, Steve. I was sad, really. I think it was the Bushwhackers v the Natural Disasters, which was Earthquake and Typhoon. Then he was Mr. Perfect v... He wasn't against Bret Hart. It was SummerSlam 91 that Bret Hart beat him for the title. I don't know if Mr. Perfect was against him. I don't know if it was Texas Tornado. Because, you know, Kerry Von Erich. I remember them all. They were like my favourite events. I think the Rockers were on. Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty. I can't think of it again. They were against Power and Glory, which was Hercules and Paul Roma. Or, I can't remember. I'd have to have a look. It's been that long since... I mean, I've got a signed... Upstairs, I've actually got God's on his tube. I've got a signed WrestleMania 7 by Davey Boy Smith on video, which is sad. I got that at Car Boot in Wigan. Oh, I have, honestly. Signed by him and everything. Before he died.
I reckon we start streaming it at night. You watch it and we watch you watching it.
What, creaming myself?
Like? I think you should stream your life 24 hours.
Well, I'm supposed to be doing a vlog about the Chris Phelps experience. Well, it can't be anyone
like the fucking Truman Show, just you every day.
Welcome. This is episode 544 of the Contextual Podcast. Let's talk about PES 2024. I'm your host, Chris Phelps. We're joined by...
So what we reckon from PES 2025? Any changes?
The keepers are fucking shit. Yeah. I started doing the vlog thing, but to be fair... I went into it with my eyes. I didn't really look into it properly. You need a lot of footage, you know, constantly recording stuff.
Yeah, it'd be perfect for when you go Vegas.
That's what I'm thinking.
The other thing is just putting the time into it. Sounds bad, but you don't.
No, it's right.
If you're on holiday, the last thing you want to do is fucking be filming everything and think it sounds, like I said, by, you know, putting all that stuff into it. I know people do.
Yeah.
But I know personally I wouldn't. I'd want to just enjoy myself.
No, well, speaking to a couple of the lads who have got into the vlog guys, Matt and Nicky, who are followed on YouTube, top guys, and they both said to me, don't let the recording ruin your holiday because it'll fly by, which it will. It's a big thing, Vegas.
Yeah.
But
what are you going on?
What I've done is I've downloaded all my stuff off my phone, and I've got a load of stuff from when we went to Fuerteventura in June, so I've got to put that together. That's ready to go. I just need to edit that as a, you know, because you can get if you go on YouTube, thousands of licensed music you can use, you know, as background stuff for your vlogs and stuff, so I don't even have to worry about that. So I've been in iMovie, put stuff together, but I need to as a vlog with it, because I did a load of videos when I was there, and me just walking in the morning talking when it was like,
what about PES?
About PES. PES 2017 is amazing, yeah. No, so I'm going to try that, see what it is. But no, it's good, that, Steve. So are we rocking and rolling here, or what?
Yeah, I've enjoyed myself being emotional.
You really enjoyed yourself.
I want to do another podcast this week. Fuck it, I'm going all out now on this.
Well, I've been telling you that since the fucking start. No, it's good to have you back, mate. No, me and you, because at the end of the day, I've got a new fucking entrance, which I need you on, because that's what
you just paid for it, I know, yeah.
No, but you know, I'm doing like separate ones with Pixel Hunter now, who comes on. Andrew couldn't do it tonight, and then I've got a load of other people. I want to do the interviews with people as well, so I'll expand it or do my own. So if there's a big UFC event and I've watched it, or a wrestling one or whatever, and I want an event, I'll just come on and do an half-hour special, and that's what me and you still doing our core stuff, which is great. But we might as well end it there. Is there anything you want to say to anyone, Steve-O?
On the Xbox for a bit.
I was thinking that. What do you want to say, Steve-O?
Peace.
Great stuff. Inspirational. So
on the canvas, Steve-O, peace.
No, but anyone out there, I don't say it enough, and it's probably the first time I've said it in this episode. So I'm following tips of my good friend, Mr. Dave Horrocks, on the Grass Coach The Grassroots Coach Cast, this podcast is really good on iTunes and SoundCloud and stuff. So if you give them a chance, it's about grassroots football coaching, retro football section. Give us a subscription, give us a like, follow, whatever rating you want to give us. So hopefully a 5 out of 5. Any sort of
stars, don't report back to us.
Yeah, don't put Steve-O's name in the 1-star ones. We'll just block you. We'll do a Konami and just block you. Any bad reviews.
Wow, you're rude.
No rude. Sorry, it's communication's wrong. But can you give us a review? Good, bad, any criticism? I've got a couple of things where I've done this live today, and you can see Steve-O on the YouTube. For anyone who's listening to it on YouTube or watching, because people were saying that when the camera's flicking to people, the Google Hangouts, it actually. My hands look massive on there. The Google Hangouts actually flicks to any noise. So if you cough, it goes to your your guy, whoever that guy is there, Steve.
Don Vito, God bless him.
Who's that?
Out of Viva La Bam. Don Vito.
All right. I don't know. Is that him off Jackass?
Yeah, Bam Majera's uncle.
Yeah. So he.
I don't know why he's my picture though.
Oh right, we should get to change that. I don't know. You can change that, but he. As each person talks, it's supposed to be you get no noise, and then if you talk now, it'd come up with you on the screen, and I would. And some were saying that when Andrew was on, because he didn't have his camera on with Brian, it was quite confusing. And a couple of people have said that when I'm doing it with yourself. So that's why I've kept my meathead and rather big nose on the screen for this one.
No, that's fine.
All right. But yeah, so anyone out there, give us a sub, review, anything. And this has been episode 30. We've got to 30. Steve-O didn't think we'd get past fucking 3 of the Contextual podcast. Thank you for listening, subscribing, following, supporting, giving us good, bad, whatever, criticism. We do accept all of it. And I've been Chris Phelps. Steve-O.
I've been Steve-O. Bye.
He finishes off a bit of wrestling.
Jim Ross.
Yeah.
Oh, my, don't do it. Don't do it, Rikishi. Don't do it.
What the
think about the Intercontinental Belt, Rikishi?
It's not anything like Jim Ross. That's terrible.
Slobber knocker Jim Ross.
Like fucking Jesse the Body Ventura. That is terrible, Steve-O. Right, just remember, to be the man, you gotta be the man. When you do that. Brother, you ain't beat me. Woo!